Good morning, everyone. And we're so happy to see all of you. So Ellen and I will be co-MCs today. Ellen, come over here, Ellen. Ellen Low. Ellen has been providing self-help all of our pro bono attorney services for all of our real estate. Sometimes, we have more difficult documents that we need a lawyer to look over. Of course, my board chair is also an attorney, but Ellen really is wonderful. So he was our honoree, was our recipient of the Self-Help for the Elderly Award, as well as Assemblyman Phil Ting. So we're really honored to have both of them, and Mayor and Supervisor Chan. So I want to start by saying hello. We're so happy to see all of you here. And all of you really are part of the Self-Help family. You've been supporting us, just like Ellen, for a long, long time. So later we'll go through the program. But today we're here because we're standing in front of 933 Clement Street, which will be home for our future residential care facility for the frail elderly. So it's a dream come true. And Mayor, a wise person long ago told me that if you have a dream, share it with others, and really, that dream will come true. I've said that many times, So when we opened our first RCFE, when you were director of the African American Culture Center in the Western Addition, you helped me get the permit to build our first 15-bed RCFE for Alzheimer's seniors. The address is 654 Grove Street. If you haven't gone by, we welcome you to come. So for the past 20 plus years, we opened in year 2000. I think we have served so many low-income and moderate-income families with loved ones whom they want to keep in San Francisco. And RCFE, we call them board and care homes, we call them assisted living. They are fast diminishing in San Francisco. When we first started, Mayor, you might remember, we have probably over 1,000, maybe such small size RCFE homes. But now I just went to the licensing and took a look. We only have 50 facilities that are licensed, and only 37 are 6-bed to 15-bed. The rest are all over 100-bed and charge between $8,000 to $12,000 a month. At Self-Help, we charge $4,000, maybe $5,000, and some seniors who have been living with us for over 10 years are paying a little bit over $2,500. So it's really through your help, through your funding, through Phil's really funding, and Connie, through the advocacy of DAS, and Department of Health, and also Mayor's Office of Housing and Community Development. Nonprofit could do this by providing affordable RCFE for our community and for our frail elderly. But we really need the city and the state and probably even federal money. So we're here today standing to realize our dream. This is phase one, the first step, but very soon we'll invite all of you back when our elderly start to move in to live here. So we're very, very happy, and thank you for joining us. It's kind of windy, a little bit cold, but really thank you. So I know that Mayor will speak, Assemblyman Phil Ting will speak, and Supervisor Connie Chan will speak. But among us is a very important supporter, and she's our City Administrator, Carmen Chu. I know Carmen has to be on the grand jury, so she just came, say hello, and she's, right there, sorry. I asked her to join us up here, but she didn't want to. But Carmen, and she has to go, grand jury, okay. But Carmen, I want to tell you that when we feel that the process was a little bit stuck, I remember I came to you and asked you for help to kind of teach us how to move this process along. So you were there, you're always behind the scene, and we thank you. I know it's a very, very complicated funding process. The bond, is a little bit different from the usual bonds, and there are just a lot of pieces involved. So along the same time, Brian, I want to thank you and your team. During the last 2 months after we were selected, there was so much paperwork to be done, and we couldn't possibly have done it without your 5 staff working with us to complete the close of escrow. So please thank Eric and Thank you very much, Brian. So now I'll turn over to Ellen to introduce our next speaker.
Thank you, Annie. You know, hate is easy, and we've been hearing a lot about hate. Change takes courage, and change takes leadership. To re-envision this abandoned restaurant space took change and it took leadership. And I'm very grateful that Mayor London Breed had the courage to stand up and make this investment and say, let's make it happen. So let this be to all the haters. This is what change looks like, and this is what we can do. It's my privilege to introduce the mayor of San Francisco, Mayor London Breed.
Well, you are right, Alan, that change is hard. But when you have the state, the local government, and the community working together, there isn't anything we can't do. This project is a real example of that. Not only did the city step up working with the API Council, I see Callie Wong here today, and others who helped with the advocacy to ensure that resources are provided to our API community for facilities like this, but we also had so many of our city workforce, and I know Carmen Chu led this process to ensure that we were able to get it done. The city, doing business in the city is hard, and to make sure that we're able to get all the different layers of paperwork done is so important. So I want to appreciate Brian and Carmen and others who worked on all the technical support to get us to this point. I want to appreciate Phil Ting for his leadership and for providing some additional much needed state resources, over $2 million to help with this project as well. And thank you to Alan Lowe, not only for emceeing this event, but providing pro bono legal services, which is also very expensive nowadays. So it took this whole village of state, local, community, and Supervisor Chan, we know on the Board of Supervisors, allocating through the budget process these resources. Everyone had a role to play. Despite our differences, despite the challenges of the city, we came together for a bigger purpose, and that is to support our community, to support our seniors, and the people that we know who need these assisted living facilities the most. So Annie mentioned how we worked together many, many years ago, and Annie, is so funny, I forgot about that, but it was when they were on Grove Street and they wanted to have this facility. Not only did we go through a lengthy community process, but there was parking that was needed, there was resources, and we worked together to make that happen. Because Annie didn't know then what she knows now, how sensitive I am about my grandmother and about taking care of seniors in San Francisco and making sure that we protect and support spaces like Laguna Honda and other assisted living facilities. But what happens when we don't have enough beds? What happens when our most vulnerable communities need a place to be not only supported but cared for? And that's why this project is so important. This is about the future and providing the level of care and assisted living necessary to take care of so many of our seniors in this community. I want to also express my appreciation to Self-Help for the Elderly for the senior escort program that they started during a global pandemic to ensure that our seniors can get to their various locations safely. I want to appreciate another amazing partner, CYC, right across the street, where, again, Phil Ting and others provided resources to ensure the build-out of that space, and our offices work closely to make sure that we get it built. So our kids are over there, our seniors are over here. We got this great community right in the middle of great things that are not only happening with the purchase of this restaurant to make it a facility to care for seniors, but also just really how we provide different layers of services for the community as a whole. So thank you all so much for being here. This is exciting times. It's a great project. And I, for one, am looking forward to the first day when the first resident moves in and is cared for right at this facility because of Annie's vision and all of us here today playing a small part in making it happen. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Mayor. Let's give one more hand to the mayor. Next up, I would like to first announce, because it's almost big game season, go Bears. Assemblymember Phil Ting. There's no one person in Sacramento who has done more for the Asian American community for the last 2 years than Assemblymember Phil Ting. No words can describe how grateful we are for what you've done for Chinatown, J-Town, D10, D5. Assemblymember Phil Ting, thank you. And it's my pleasure to bring up to the stage Assemblymember Phil Ting, alumni of the California Golden Bears.
Thank you, Alan. Yes, and with Big Game Week, go Bears. I'm looking at Brian right here because I think he'll be there, probably with his family on the other side. But I think our mayors said it really best, in that this project standing behind us doesn't happen if not for Annie, your leadership, the Self-Help Board, Alan, your help. Doesn't happen without the mayor's leadership, the supervisor's leadership, really making sure that working together as a city, that we can all do this together. And it doesn't happen without the state. And it just demonstrates, Annie, your extraordinary ability to just make something out of nothing. This has been an empty restaurant for quite a while. I walk up and down this street quite a bit. And I'm sure that for the longest time you've been waiting to try to figure out how to really make this project an amazing project for our community. And why this is so important, I mean, Annie's so incredibly modest. All the work that she puts to each and every single one of our residential care facilities, all the work that her organization does to make seniors independent, to make sure that they have an incredible life. And this is something that's clearly on the top of my mind. My mother's aging, and I spend a lot of time talking to my brother on how we are going to help my mom, support my mom, making sure that we have enough family structure and assistance. And for those folks who don't have children, don't have families that can help their seniors, you know, we're all very, very thankful for Self-Help for the Elderly and for Annie and for all the incredible work that she does. And just to sort of underscore what the stakes are, the fastest growing population of people who are becoming homeless are seniors over 50. It's not who we think they are. It's not, you know, the people who have mental health issues, the people who have substance abuse problems, they get the press. They're the ones that perhaps when we walk and we see them may be top of mind. But in terms of the numbers, it's seniors. And it's got to be the scariest thing that as you age, that you're not allowed the ability to age gracefully, that you can't age in your own home, and that if you are one financial incident, whether it's your car, whether it's going in for basic healthcare procedure, from being on the street. And that's why this facility is so critical, because it's right at the heart of that need. It's for seniors, and it's for low-income seniors. And I think that's why we're all here, because we know how important this is. This is exactly the kind of housing that has to be built if we're going to make any dent into our homelessness situation. And so that's why we're all here, because we know that we have to do something, and we have to do something together. And Annie, your incredible leadership, your guidance has really allowed myself, allowed the mayor, the supervisor, the entire city departments to be here to support all of your efforts. And I know when you have the next brilliant idea, housing more seniors, low-income seniors, we're going to be there as well. So again, thank you so much. It's an honor to be here today, and congratulations.
Thank you, Phil. The supervisor has a special place in my heart from the Recreation and Park Department, but I want to recall a conversation I had with Supervisor Chan May of last year. She said, I have this idea. I'm going to create this fund for nonprofits to buy real estate. Now, there's not much money in it, so you're going to do it for free. I said, what? She goes, it's going to be great. You're going to enjoy it, and you're not going to get paid for it. I said, okay. So I had to convince my partners, my partnership, and we bought into it. And look what's happening. She had the vision to put this together. She had the advocacy and leadership. I'm just very grateful that we have an advocate for the Asian American community and for the Richmond, Supervisor Connie Chan.
Thank you. Well, for some of you may not know, but just last week, Time Out magazine announced that Richmond is one of the coolest neighborhoods in the world. And I was interviewed by reporters and asking me, like, why do I think that is? Like, how was that Richmond became the coolest neighborhood in the world? And I joke, I think it's because of feng shui. We have Ocean Beach, we have Golden Gate Park. But I think at the end of the day, it's really the people that make the Richmond the coolest neighborhood in the world. It's you. And with that, it's really, I want to just thank Annie and her leadership, but really also all the Self-Help for the Elderly Board directors and staff. Can we give them an applause? We're here because of their good work, and that we get to take credit for their good work. But of course, again, I just want to say, when I say the people, is because leadership like Assemblymember Phil Tang, like Mayor Breed, that they also put together to make sure and recognize the investment in our community block by block, starting from Community Youth Center and now at 933 Clement for Self-Help for the Elderly. Assemblymember Phil Tang saw it and taught me that invest in the neighborhood for the long term is the success for our city and for our state. And also, thanks to Mayor Breed and the commitment, seeing that even when there is a deficit, we prioritize our community. We say that we will invest in our community. Thanks to their leadership, thank you to everyone in the community that we can celebrate this milestone together. And so I say today, I thank all of you, and you all should be very proud for all the things that we have accomplished together. And so I'm grateful to be a representative of you, and so proud of the Richmond. And I think that for all this investment, and most importantly, love and care, we will see block by block, this block and the many blocks, that direction and that direction in the Richmond, we'll see that it will thrive. And so thank you so much.
Thank you, Supervisor Chan. Another story about this deal is when Carlos Serrano Kwan, who's here from Sequoia Capital, Sequoia Commercial, not Sequoia Capital, came up to me and said that 933 Clement Street should be a candidate for self-help for the elderly. I said, who wants to buy that piece of property? I was just like, what? But it took the entire self-help team who can envision what this could be, and I guarantee you, we're coming back for a ribbon cutting, and we're going to see a new senior center, a new acute senior center for our most vulnerable San Franciscans. And we're going to see the employees, the senior citizens, make deposits at Cathay Bank, Eric Chung. We're going to be buying coffee and old-fashioned donuts at All-Star Donuts. And we're going to be going to Y&Y to buy number 45, which is the 5-spice chicken. So it's going to have that effect, Supervisor Chan, of bringing cool to Clement Street beyond 10th Avenue. And you're right, we're going to do it building by building, block by block. This is how we build a community. This is how we build back our one city. And here to talk about the vision for this facility is the board chair, Nick J., who accidentally called me uncle. So maybe it's time for me to enroll in self-help. All right. All right, Nick J., everyone.
Thank you all for coming, and thank you, Mayor Breed and Councilman Tang and Supervisor Chan for helping us celebrate this day. This is a new assisted living for the frail and, frankly, our most vulnerable seniors. This will be Self-Help's second care facility after 20 years ago when we opened Autumn Glow, as Annie mentioned. And this is really not just a win for the seniors. It's a win for the community and for the families of the seniors. One of the ways that I got involved with self-help is my family was looking for someone or a place to bring my grandmother who was suffering with Alzheimer's and needed memory care. And I know the type of stress that put on not only the senior itself, but the family. And the fact that we're able to open this now is just absolutely incredible and should help everyone. Our board is keenly aware of the fact that it's difficult to have someone live in a place like this, where it's usually between $8,000 and $12,000 a month to live. But thanks to self-help and the mayor's office and the state's cooperation and the board of supervisors and DOS and all the other organizations that are part of this, as well as the donors and the supporters of self-help for the elderly, we're able to keep the rates about 40 or 50% of what it otherwise would be on the open market. Again, I'd also like to commend the self-help staff and also our board as well. Maggie Mewey is here as well, another one of our board members. And Pat Marr, a longtime board member as well. So again, this is a great day, and I want to say, Annie, just like everyone else says, you're amazing, and the way that you're able to get this done is just incredible. So thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, Nicholas, Ellen, Mayor Phil, Connie. So we have a very exciting ribbon cutting part, but before we do that, I'd like to really thank a list of people that have helped with this project. First, I want to introduce our sellers. We have sellers with us today. Mr. Willie Cow and Danny Sang are both here. So. And they are so good. They are very easy to work with. I want to thank you both, Danny and Willie. Whenever we meet, they brought lots and lots of seafood to the restaurant to cook because Danny runs a seafood business. And when Brian said that every project needs to have a 15% in-kind and monetary in-kind contribution to match the city funds, so I went straight to the source and asked our two sellers that may I have $550,000 donation from you.
That's right,
And
Annie.
that's right, Mayor, right? You taught us to ask and ask bravely.
Yes.
Without the blink of an eye, the two gentlemen said, yes, we will do it. I remember Willie and Danny. Willie said, Annie, you can count on me for your future donations as well. So where do you get such sellers? Please help me thank our sellers. 多謝晒 Willie and Danny. Also, our architect that did the rendering for Brian's RFP is here with us, and that's Steve Senseki. Steve used to run the AND. We all know and love the Asian Neighborhood Design, which is a community architectural firm that helped us design a lot of the SROs, that our seniors live in, and he's very, very special. He's the architect for our Terraville expansion project that Phil also supported greatly. And because of Stephen, we managed to almost close, that project construction and planning for opening in January or February of next year. So thank you, Stephen. Yeah. So Mayor is right. It took a whole village to put this project together because not only did we need acquisition money, we're going to need renovation and construction money, but Mayor, in order for us to charge $4,000 a month versus $10,000, we need the city to step in for operating subsidy while we are applying for the license, which might take. So DAS comes in, so please help me thank Kelly Dearman, our Executive Director of the Department of Disabilities and Aging, along with Cindy Kaufman, our go-to person, Tiffany, and Paulo, who we run a lot of nutritious sites, meal sites. Actually, 2 blocks from here at the Venus restaurant is another very innovative program run by DAS, and that's a restaurant-based nutrition program. Every senior loves that. And if you have time and over 60, you could stop by and enjoy a meal over there at a few dollars instead of the restaurant price. So we run that, and then we go to DAS staff for help, along with Joe Molliker, who's a czar, an expert, in communications. Joe is over there. Every time we need Joe, for the Elder Abuse Awareness Day and whatever we do, Joe is fully support, and Kelly and Cindy. We cannot find a funder who is as good and as supportive as you, so thank you. And then we want to thank Carlos. Ellen mentioned Carlos, our broker, along with Wayne Ho, who's broker representing the sellers. And we're nonprofit, right? We don't have any boundaries for time, no week, not to call people on weeknights or weekend. We just call them whenever we need them. Carlos, you have to come open the door because we're doing the phase 1 report, right? Or Wayne, you got to come right now because we need someone to go in to inspect the property in order for us to submit the application. And they really are good brokers, right? Whatever we need, Carlos is there. And then Carlos also serves on the San Mateo City Planning Commission. So we have a lot of expertise between the two of them. So thank you, Carlos. And Ellen talked about the background of the advocacy for the API Equity Fund is through API Council, our Executive Director, Kelly Wong, and also David Ho. So thank you so much for doing this. And beyond the 3 projects that was picked for round 1, Mayor and Brian and Eric will fund another group of CBOs so that they also get their headquarters and program space as well. Connie mentioned our work with Supervisor Chan, and Angelina and Robin are here. So we have lays for you. So Jenny, our senior, are representing us to present. Please come over, Jenny. Because almost every month, Robin and Angelina is somewhere. I'm sorry, Robin. Robin is over there. I'm sorry, I'm pointing to the wrong person. Anne is over there. So Anne, keep that lay. I don't know if we could give one to your bodyguard, Mayor, but might as well, William. Come on, get one too. You protected our mayor, which is very, very important. Now, our seniors make these lays, so they are very special. Right, okay, all right. Jenny, so come over and thank Rob. Robin has one, and Angelina. Okay, so we're doing safety workshops with Connie at our Jackie Chan site. And almost every month, Connie will bring a special speaker, like on safety, fire prevention, right? The next one is on fire prevention. So thank you, Connie. Also, Connie introduced us to Captain Canning. Captain Chris Canning. Mayor, Captain was so special. I needed the space for the tent, so I called Manson. Manson called Captain. And then Captain said, done, I will personally go out to make sure that you have the space. So thank you, Captain, very much. Yeah. And also, our seniors feel much more comfortable of coming to you and the officers to report their crimes because now they treat you as a friend. Yeah. So thank you. Yeah. So we mentioned that Eric supported this project and also all the affordable housing. And I have to mention a few past former supervisor. Under the President Norman Yee, he started the investigation work on the lack of affordable RCFE beds for San Francisco. And thanks to Kelly and other city department, they did a really comprehensive report stating that the city and the state and the government really have to step in to protect the diminishing of these homes. So thank you for doing that, Norman Yee. I invited him. I invited Sandy Fewer. I invited Gordon Ma because Gordon, I forgot to mention that besides the acquisition and the renovation, the third part is the subsidy. So Gordon worked with us to provide us a very hefty subsidy for the 2 years while we're applying for this project to be built out. So it takes all these pieces to make it work. So again, I want to thank our former elected officials for caring about these seniors and keeping them right here in the city. So I know that I could thank all of you, thank everyone, our seniors here. We asked Lance to bring seniors today who are more English speaking so that we don't need to do the translation. And Lance is really good. And these are the group of seniors who always go attend Phil's town hall meetings, Connie's town hall meetings, Mayor's budget meetings, and town hall meetings. So we have gotten Ivy, and a lot of our seniors pretty well trained to express their own needs to you directly instead of through a middle person like us. So thank you everyone for attending this. So we're now going to line up our speakers and our supporters to do a ribbon cutting.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.